We're still missing Sherry, but we can most certainly go ahead and get started. I know he had mentioned that we would be moving the forum from what it used to be monthly to quarterly per a lot of your requests and the board's requests, just to mitigate extra meetings, which we love as well, right? We like to be efficient. So this is going to be our quarterly, and we'll do it again next quarter per the OIR guidelines. Okay. So we'll just kind of go into some of my updates from the executive director's perspective. I know I go over a lot of this stuff in my Tuesday talks, but some of this is more high level, more operational for the community and for our just kind of standard team operations. So come on in. You're good? All right. So we'll go, oh, look, Sherry's bringing a guest of honor too. He's going to steal the show. She is training him. She has, his name is Chris, and she has him for a year. So meet Chris if you haven't met Chris already. He's a VIP. That's right. So I'll just kind of go over a couple of our policies, programs, and services. So LCS has updated, as I kind of mentioned in the past, our corporate policy that no longer mandates the COVID-19 vaccine. That was excluding skilled nursing employees. Now, the second update is that is also going to be changed. There have been recent CMS guidelines that have updated, pulling back on vaccine mandates for skilled nursing associates as well. So while that has not been executed and implemented as a company, it is on the way. So in general, LCS would have changed our stance and our policy on mandating the COVID-19 vaccine for our entire community, including skilled nursing, but that portion is still yet to be sent out. But it was confirmed that that is on the way per the recent CMS updates. So that definitely will help us with staffing. That's obviously been, as we probably know, over the last few years, a little bit more of a challenge. So that will definitely help with just kind of getting those positions and that not being an additional obstacle to overcome when it comes to hiring. We have implemented, I know I mentioned this before, but it is now implemented, the UKG system that helps us with timekeeping, scheduling, wage, and overtime management. It's a workforce management system that includes both timekeeping and scheduling. This new system offers mobile capabilities, electronic sign-off request, reduced paper processing, electronic scheduling for employees, advanced scheduling for care, integrations into our EMAR system, and easy-to-view dashboards. So really, they can obviously, now that it's electronic, they can do everything from their phones when need be. So that really kind of helps just with today's technology and our operations for us to streamline and manage those components of our operations. The management team, we have talked with Chris. We have met and discussed our goals. I know we had set out some LCS and peak goals, but the residents had requested resident-specific, resident-driven goals. We were ready to get those dispersed, and Chris was able to provide me with additional goals that came directly from some of the residents. So we are taking that back and incorporating certain components of those into our final submission. And we'll get that finalized, and we hope to get that to Chris and the board by mid-May. So hopefully that will suffice and kind of give you more direction as to our resident-specific goals as per request. Just kind of FYI, I always let you know when we have visits. Fannie Mae and Health Peak will be here in Blue Team on Wednesday, May 10th around 9:30. Their purpose is to visit the community. They're going to be looking at the fire damage and their asset in general, our town hall, some of our new developments and renovations, and just kind of the progress of the fire and the claim. So they'll be here for a couple of hours on that Wednesday. It's not an annual inspection, but really just more so of a visit so they can see all of the progress and dive into the logistics of the claim. We have submitted the annual report and third-party audit to the OIR. It will be reviewed with the RoRo President Chris on Monday. I actually have it on my desk waiting for you, Chris. And will be posted in the libraries that day for resident review. Also, as I just mentioned, we have updated the foreign cadence from monthly to quarterly at the request of the residents and the board. And we will cancel the Tuesday talk following forum just because there's such a short time in between Friday updates, obviously Saturday, Sunday, weekend, and then Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday, we will cancel Tuesday talk just because we would have given you a lot of pertinent updates today. So a couple updates for our programs. LCS has been selected as the 2023 Gallup Exceptional Workplace Award, so we're pretty proud of that. The Regency Oaks, our IHS team, were actually January and March's leader in our portfolio for month-over-month revenue per gains. So again, we always appreciate your guys' commitment and collaboration with our Innovative Home Services team, and Christine and them do a great job. So we're pretty proud of that we've been leading the portfolio about 2 out of the 3 months in Q1. Next, we are in the process. Leslie, as we know, will be departing us. Her last day is next Friday, but she has been helping us with one last initiative. It is an LCS-driven initiative that we are implementing in our AccuShield. If you don't know what the AccuShield is, it's that sign-in kiosk. And it is basically called the Reputation Accelerator. And this feature will prompt feedback from visitors and alert us to reviews. So we are still in the process of getting that implemented, but it's something that a lot of the communities have already began, and it's proven to be helpful and insightful. So more to come once we have that fully operational. I'd like to just kind of give updates. Again, I know it really takes a village for our community in regards to occupancy. We are meeting and exceeding budget at our occupancy, and we met and exceeded budgeted sales last quarter. So we always thank our ambassador program. We thank our food and beverage for their continued help. It does take every one of your guys' commitment and collaboration for our new residents. So we're pretty happy about that, and we're hoping to have just as successful of a Q2. As far as services, some of this may be a little bit of follow-up from Tuesday talk. One thing, we have extended an offer to a sales director. Her name is Dawn Bear, so if all goes well, she will start around June. She has a couple of, she of course has to finalize her notice, but she should be starting around about mid-June. And Barbara Ginn, our LCS Sales Ops Specialist, who's currently here, will remain here helping us and helping her transition in. So we have been able to successfully fill that. I think she's going to be a great asset to our team. There was lots of discussion about the speeding and parking situation, so we are looking into that. We are looking to order speed bumps and additional parking signs. Yes, I know, you can't win them all, but we're looking into it. We have to see what our options are. Obviously, if you bring a problem to me, I'm going to give you a solution, right? So we do have speeding issues and we do have parking issues. I have already reached out to the police department. They cannot patrol on behalf of us or assist us because we're a private property. So again, it's something we're looking into. Nothing's been finalized, so I can most certainly meet with Chris and the board about additional issues. But if we have a problem, we do have to find some type of solution. So we'll continue working on that. Like I mentioned, I did contact the police department. They did confirm they cannot help us patrol because we're a private property. So I shared that information with Chris. So we are open to suggestions, not necessarily in this format today, but we're open to suggestions on solutions you guys have for speeding, if that is not something, the direction you want to go. So we can work with Chris to help collaborate those conversations. I am still in the process of drafting a letter about the parking, so we'll get that out to our associates and vendors so we can try to make some additional changes there. And we did implement, as you know, our follow-up work order process, so we are still doing that. I have Giancarla turning in a report to me every Friday. She usually turns that in to me about midday, showing me who she calls and where we're at with various work orders. Little bit of updates from Blue Team. We are happy we are nearing the end of this project for the unit restoration portion. We've got about 6 more total units, 3 more residents that need to move back, and about 6 more total units that need to be placed or need to be completed, and then we would have been done with that process. So Blue Team's been here for quite some time, almost a year now since the fire. They will move into helping us with the north building renovation, but those apartments will have been completed, which has been one of the most more complicated and most arduous processes. So pretty happy about that. That takes a lot of my time and a lot of our team's collaboration to get all of those units back online. Last update for me, of course we all know we now have the full access to the fitness center, the beauty salon, and the town hall. So as I communicated in Tuesday Talk, there were a couple more items in those areas that need to be addressed, but for the most part they are fully functioning, so we'll continue finalizing those areas and communicate accordingly. Thank you, I'll pass it to Sherry.
Good morning. We'll see how this works. His first meeting. That's a first here for him this week. My name's Sherry Schweitzer. I'm the Director of Financial Services. My report is for the period ending March 31st. So this is for the first quarter. Our occupancy for our independent living is at 90.1%. Our assisted living is at 100%. Our skilled nursing is at 91.7%, for a total campus occupancy of 90.3% on a budget of 89.6%. So the variance is ahead of budget by 1.3%. Our year-over-year trend is trending occupancy increase of 1.5% year-over-year as of this time. Revenue. Total operating revenue was ahead of budget by 3%, or $245,000, ending Q1. Independent living is ahead by $96,000. Assisted living is at budget. Skilled nursing is ahead by $84,000, and IHS is ahead by $34,000. The year-over-year trend for our revenue is an increase of 1.5% year-over-year. Our expenditures. Total controllable expenditures for the quarter were only over by $2,000, which is pretty awesome, which relates to skilled nursing, pharmacy, and some medical supplies. However, since our census is above budget, our expenses will trend upwards as well. So it's a good correlation. That trend year-over-year increase actually is 9.4% year-over-year. Keep in mind that in our 2023 budget, we significantly increased our wages and included inflationary costs. So our expenditures are expected to go up year over year. Non-controllable expenses were under $31,000 due to insurance and tax variances. Wages were ahead of budget by $200,000. This was related to the fact that we had contract nursing. Keep in mind, this is for 3 months ending March 31st. Trend, year-over-year increase of 9.4%. And this is due to our increased budgeting labor costs. Net operating income as of March 31st, our net operating income was a positive $1.405 million versus a 1.34 budgeted NOI. So we are currently ahead of budget by $60,000. This trend variance is down 20%. However, keep in mind we're ahead of budget, but last year, if you recall me reporting on additional stimulus funds that were received, Kyle, thank you. Even faster. So keep in mind that Q1 of last year, we had an additional $400,000 that we didn't even plan in the budget. So that's where that year-over-year trend is. But for Q1, we're at a very good positive variance year to date. Our focus areas for the community are labor and overtime. And that's what each department had. We meet weekly, we discuss our projections, we manage open positions to help reduce our overtime and increase our filled positions. So that's my report for Q1, and thank you.
not a good dog sitter.
Just give her the bag.
She had a lot of food. All right, good morning, everyone. Some updates for the healthcare center. The healthcare center had our resurvey back on February 15th from our annual survey that occurred at the end of November, beginning of December. All the deficiencies were cleared, and so we're able to move forward with that. So we had a good, successful resurvey. We also welcomed Harriet Peoples, who started as our full-time Assistant Director of Clinical Services, our infection preventionalist for the healthcare center. We had a marketing event that occurred yesterday with our hospital case managers and our referral partners. So we're trying to get more visible with our hospital partners, our referral partners, our case managers on a more monthly or quarterly basis to be visible to them. So it's been a while since they've been to the campus, and so with COVID there's been a lot of turnover at the hospital systems as well with the case management department. So we wanted to bring them to the community, show them what we're about, show them the property, and it was a successful event yesterday. We also have family night scheduled for our assisted living and skilled nursing residents, which is scheduled for May 25th. So if you have anyone over at the healthcare center, please make sure you RSVP by calling the front desk. It's going to be another April Showers Bring May Flowers event, so it's going to be another successful event. So if you have anyone in the healthcare center and you want to attend, please call the healthcare center front desk to RSVP. We continue to report weekly to the CDC for our COVID-19 vaccination status for both our residents and our employees. We have a continued focus still with a new benevolent booster for everyone. So we report weekly to the CDC, and that data is then rolled up into our quality measures reports and reported on the Medicare.gov website on our vaccination status. Well, like Lindsay mentioned, that the vaccine will no longer be required. We still have to report this until December of 2024 to the CDC. We also created a partnership and a relationship with Premier Nursing Academy to increase our recruiting efforts. So these are CNAs that are in class for 6 weeks. They have to go through a 3-step interview process before they're hired at Premier Nursing Academy, and then we interview them as well about the 4-week mark when they're in class and decide if they're a good fit for us or not. And so we've hired 10 CNAs from Premier Nursing Academy. 9 of them are in orientation or in floor orientation this week, so that's been a successful program and really helped with our recruitment efforts. So we're excited to bring these new CNAs on board. A lot of them are interested in continuing their education to grow into a nursing program, and so you know how great it is to have them grow with us and become our future nurses at the community. For occupancy, like Sherry mentioned, the assisted living has been 100% occupied, and the healthcare center has been at 53.84 on a budget of 55, averaging about 90% occupied. So occupancy has been heading in the right direction at both the healthcare centers. So that's it I got for me.
Good morning. So I am Betsy, the Administrative Director. I just want to share that, I did hire a brand new receptionist, and I continue to hire additional receptionists to ensure coverage and time off request emergencies are all covered, as well as we are working to cross-train some of the employees from additional apartments. I have completed the spring cleaning and document purges for each desk. We have been completing audits and updates to systems like AccuShield, Call 'em All. So it's important to always notify the front desk if you have a change in phone number, because we do use these systems to get in touch with residents in case of emergency. I am still continuing to document the Tuesday talks and make the communication flyers. I do continue to provide notary services for all residents and updating their advanced directives. So again, we are losing our Leslie, and that is one of the things that she continues to focus on, is making sure to give information to residents about your advanced directives and how important it is to have those on file with the community. So as everybody continues to need notary services, please let me know. We do provide that for free to the residents. I am continuing to work on updating and revising the Regency Oaks resident handbook. So I think everybody knows that has been a big undertaking, and I appreciate I've had lots of support from the residents. There's a committee working on that with me, so as soon as that has been completed, reviewed by everybody, we will roll that out. I did get the 2023 license renewal for the pool and the spa. And I did organize the annual shredding to receive and maintain the shredding bins in the month of April. So no, I was not hauling out the trash. Those were the shred bins. And then I also completed the CPR training for the community first responders. So that is all I have to share for today.
Morning. My name is Darwin, Plan Operations. Here's some of the updates that we got in our department. We did some repairs on the north boiler room due to a damaged pipe. We do have to replace one of the valves. It's going to have to be a shut-off. We'll notify you guys enough time. It's going to be for a couple of hours, but we'll send those notifications out whenever we get them and the date. We replaced on the north building, 4th and 5th floor, 7 air conditioners on the corridors. We are scheduling the ones on the south building. We're going to get, I think it's about 10 of them is going to be replaced on this building. That's coming up for next month. We replaced the photo cells on the exterior lighting. Some of the lighting was staying on. We did replace those throughout the campus. We did pendant battery replacement in north building and south building. A lot of the residents got to do that. If you still need that done, please reach out. We'll do that for you anytime. We did some repairs to the bypass valve on the compressor on the pool air conditioner that was having issues. And we had issues with the pool heater too. We had a power outage. It wasn't a power outage, it was like a glitch, and that triggered the heater. That's why the pool was getting a little bit colder, but we got that resolved. We did pressure wash and painted all the trash rooms on the north building. We get in the one here, I think by this Saturday we get this one painted too. Here's an update on the work orders. So we got on the February, we did complete 175 work orders in total. On March, we did 202. And on April, we did 278. All right, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Evan. I'm with Environmental Services for updates today. We had Clearwater Carpeting service the 1st through 3rd floors, the activity rooms, libraries, and the dining venues, as long as the Grand Lobby South. We washed all those outdoor furniture pillows, so those look a little bit better, thankfully. We cleaned the furniture in the north and south lobbies, so if you've seen Wanda doing some furniture cleaning, we're trying to get everything back to where it was previously. We completed washing the windows at the end of the corridors on the 2nd through 5th floor in the north building per the request of the residents. We did a detailed cleaning in all exterior lighting. We also washed all outdoor rugs for the pub. I'm returning one today, so you'll see the one that's been missing for a couple days. And we deep cleaned the refuge rooms in the M and the S wing. Now, you have all received a comment card that has been in your mailbox. If you've not received one, please give me a call at extension 508. So in environmental services, a goal of ours is to increase resident satisfaction. With constructive feedback, that's how we're going to meet your needs. So please, if you haven't returned one to the front desk, please put your comments or compliments on those cards so we can try to meet your needs. Focuses going forward, we're trying to locate a vendor for our window washing. I know everyone's eager to get your exterior windows washed. I'm working hard to get that done. We have a couple appointments next week early to get a few more quotes because we want to save as much money as we can. Alrighty, thank you.
Good morning, I'm Christine, Director of Innovative Home Services. We are continuing with our blood pressure clinics. They are in the north and south lobbies. They are being done weekly by Pam Cox. We're trying to actually have those clinics after Tuesday Talk to try to capture as many residents as we can. We completed the meet and greet with Grace Home Care. We will also be doing them bi-monthly. We'll be alternating either in the north and south lobbies or out in the breezeway, and then also with the lobbies. We did 3 estate sales. We have 2 upcoming that we're preparing right now. We assisted with the employee extravaganza event. We continue with monthly word search puzzles. So please, if you got your puzzle and you haven't completed it, please hand it in, and then we will pick our person, and then you guys get 1 free hour of service. We will continue that monthly. The residents really seem to enjoy that. And that is it for us. Thanks, and see you at the Derby.
All right, Leslie Haas, your Resident Services Director until May 12th. So, which I will miss everyone. Thank you so much for these last 6 years between Brookdale and LCS. It's been fantastic with the 15 years that I've had with seniors. So thank you everyone that has been involved with my role. So thank you. So for last month, we continue to hold the Monthly in the Know with RO, where all the residents are encouraged to come, ask questions, meet and greet with department heads. Weekly bereavement groups still continue. Thank you, Millie Diaz, for all that you've done for the bereavement group. Completed the monthly Sharps Disposal Clinic, implemented the new Heartfelt Connections with LCS that's been with the state of Florida approved, and I did the training for our independent living staff that comes on, so that will still be continuing. Distributed the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. That was the smell study that you all received, where you can log on and report your findings to help out the Foundation for Parkinson's research. Now we have available the Health and Wellness Navigator Residence Handbooks that are located in the Wellness Center, as well as the North and South Medical Tables. And even though there's no COVID right now in independent living, we monitored those that were in the previous months. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Samantha, and today I will be giving our accomplishments for the Activities Department. We have resumed Getting to Know You, and it has been highly successful with about 25 residents in attendance. We continue monthly with Grace Home Health supporting us with musical bingo, and the residents love it. We continue to schedule some entertainers on weekends. We switch off starting times between 7 and 7:30 to accommodate all residents. We had Deputy Skipper from the Pinellas County Sheriff Office to discuss avoiding scams. The Tech Committee has started up their Tech Help, and I have joined the committee, so I'm happy to come up with new ideas to help our residents. The residents enjoyed the production of Mamma Mia at Eastlake High School, and we had a nice attendance. Our Activities Committee distributed surveys, and we will begin the process to sort them and review them. Thanks everybody for participating. And now some other events I would like to mention. We have our monthly cocktail party next week at 3:30 in our town hall. We are very happy about it. And the derby, the theme is gonna be derby, so make sure you dress for that. Mother's Day tea and storyteller on Friday, May 12th in the Grand Lobby South at 1 p.m. And don't forget to sign up for that. And we have a trip to a restaurant, Salt Shock, on Wednesday, May 17th. And also make sure you sign up for that if you want to attend. And also reminding everybody our monthly calendars are located in the mail rooms to make sure you keep up with our activities. Thank you.
Chef Johnny. I'm going to read a letter I got from Miss Sue Swanson. It's called A White Hat for Johnny. Ricky passed a knit and crochet in the North Lobby, which is a group that gets together, and he said, knit Johnny a white hat. So I got my white yarn and knit a hat for Johnny. It's not for him to wear, it's just a representative of all the good he does with all the food he serves at Regency Oaks. Like Ricky, Phil, India, Lee, Nancy, Drew, and all the other servers in the North Building and the South Building, and Dustin in the Health Center, and all the other people that we don't even know about, from Sue, like who likes the people here, and for all the good food they serve. Ms. Sue Swanson. Sue, thank you for acknowledging food and beverage.
Good morning, that's a tough act to follow up. Good Lord. Ricky, Phil, and Johnny, dining services. Just a couple of things here. Continuing the North and the South monthly birthday parties for the residents, having pop-ups in Bella Row and the Breezeway, hosting the gourmet dinner, and getting ready to start a new cycle that will include cold water lobster tail.
I know. So
continued success with the monthly beer and wine club. The beer club did make a trip over to Tampa Bay Brewing Company. We really enjoyed that one. Had another successful food and wine pairing. We held a Passover dinner. We do that every year. Used Brick and Vine to offer intimate dining experience and tastings for the residents. We also listened to the residents' suggestions about the pub opening on Saturdays, and now it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Both doors open to the pub, thank goodness, because we couldn't figure out which was the front, which was the back, so now they both open. And that's about it, but just an update today in the Breezeway. We're going to be doing our Cinco de Mayo theme. We're going to have chips and salsa on the tables for you. We will have beef tacos, yellow rice, black beans, novelty bars for desserts, margaritas, and complimentary wine and beer and tequila shots. Have a great day.
I'm sorry, Chris, I'm sorry. I stepped on the tail.
All right, Susan. Okay, so that will conclude our Q1 forum update. At this point, we can take questions from our team. So, Betsy?
You mentioned you had talked to the police department. They can't help because it's private property.
Yes.
But as I understand it, which I think is good, they do come on, and if a car is parked in a handicapped slot overnight, they ticket them. How can they do one thing and not the other?
Good question. I'll send you their email. I asked that as well. I don't have clarification on that, but I got the big fat, we can't help you. So, and I sent Chris the email, so just he could confirm we were working in that direction. That was also my question. So we'll just pivot to additional alternatives.
Evan, here I am. Will the vinyls outside be washed at the same time the glass windows are?
We're still trying to figure that out depending on the quote we receive. We're going to try to move in that direction going forward to try to do the lanais, but at this time we're only doing the windows inside your unit, the larger windows that you see in the living room and bedroom, not your lanai windows.
Well, some of the lanais are glass.
Mm-hmm.
They will be washed.
Not this time. We want to move in that direction to get all the windows on the property complete, but this year we're not able to accommodate that request, unfortunately.
So just to add additional insight, we are shopping vendors for that. We've gotten about $12,000 and $13,000 quotes. Obviously, that is a very large number. It was unbudgeted, so we are going to do what we can with what we can when we get those vendors. We are shopping multiple options and multiple vendors on how we can get this done. But for whatever reason, it is about almost $13,000. So we're still working on that, but that's the biggest barrier.
Would it be possible to have the Mother's Day tea in our new town hall using the kitchen there?
I don't know the details behind that, Sam, Ricky.
Yeah, we don't have the sound system yet, and it'll be a little difficult for people with like hearing aids.
Okay.
So we're gonna wait.
Yes, that is something that's come up as of yesterday. The sound system equipment, obviously, as you know, as I've kind of communicated, is still not in the town hall, and with that, there is no looping. The looping is installed, but it needs the sound system. So any events we do in there, if there's hearing impaired, they're not going to be able to really fully enjoy them with the looping system. So just another barrier that's come across, but we should have the sound system from my call last night, possibly next week. So much sooner than we had anticipated. But please believe we're trying to do every event we can in that area, but there are details as such that prevent us from that. So I believe, where is it currently at?
Grand Lobby South.
Grand Lobby South. So if event is in the Grand Lobby South, it's because there was some logistical barrier for Town Hall. But we will most certainly try.
I don't have a question, but I've got a comment. the recycling committee needed some input from waste management, and so we invited a supervisor of recycling from waste management to come meet with us. But the meeting was at 1 o'clock, so Sue and I invited her to lunch. So she was in the north dining room for lunch, saw the salad bar, saw the left side of the menu, saw the right side of the menu, placed an order, enjoyed the food. And before we went to the meeting, she said, "You guys eat like this every day?" It was an interesting comment to outside eyes looking at what we do every day, and she was amazed at the options that we had and the quality of the food. So sometimes we need to remember that.
Amen. Thank you for that, Chris.
I have a kudo. I noticed that the area under the pergola was finally power washed and got rid of all the bird stuff. Will that be on a regular basis now? Because it was looking terrible, and now it looks so good.
Which area exactly was that?
Under the pergola, outside of the pool.
Okay.
Because the birds, I guess, stop up there and they poop.
We can go ahead and add it to monthly pay schedule to get a pressure wash. I don't think there's any problem with that.
Thank you for noticing, Miss Judy. Nothing gets by you. Any other questions for the team? This is your opportunity. You get to see me every Tuesday, but this is your opportunity for anything you need for our other directors.
Yes, is there anything that we can do for the ladies that work at the south front desk with the incessant beeping of the machine that goes beep, beep, beep?
Yeah, Mr. Lu, there's the board for the panel it went bad and they ordered it, so we're waiting for it to come in to get it replaced. As soon as we replace the board on that panel, it will stop the beeping. And I understand that it's annoying going every 5 minutes. Yeah, it's been ordered like 2 weeks ago, and I know we're still waiting on the board for that.
Any other questions?
Yep, we got a couple more.
Yep, okay.
I'm wondering when the outside windows are being washed, perhaps they could take some wasp spray up with them, because in the corners outside the lanai, they may actually get stung while they're working, but they may want to do that at the same time as they're up there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Whose job is it to clean the metal railings over at the pool area? The metal, they're just terrible.
Are we talking about the railings to get inside the pool?
Yes, yes.
We can take care of that. No issues.
Just for your information, we're going to start siliconing with the boom. We're getting the boom rented in 2 weeks. If you're having any issues with water intrusions in the night, please call us. We'll add you to the list. In about 2 weeks, we're going to get the boom to seal the lanais that we do almost every year.
Darwin?
We'll go ahead and get the nets too.
The big magnets that, I know there's one on the refuse room, on the 5th floor in the north building that hold the door open. Are they tied into the sprinkler system?
Yes, ma'am. We just did that this month. All the trash rooms in the north and south are connected to, we did a magnetic, it's connected to the fire panel, so in case of a fire, they will release and close the door instead of having the other magnet in there.
So that means that those doors can stay open all the time?
Yes, ma'am.
Which makes it easier to go to.
Of course.
And if there is one of those small ones at the bottom that some people put, can those be removed?
We have it on the schedule to remove all of them.
Do we need to do a work order to remove
No, I
it?
got them on the list already.
Okay.
That was brought up in Tuesday talk, so Darwin and I met, and he's going to take care of that.
Are they on the laundry side too, or just on the?
On this building, on the laundry, not on the north.
Are they gonna be put on the north?
We are waiting for 3. They weren't on the budget, but yes, I think first, second, and third floor are. It's just the 4th and 5th.
But not 4th
On the
and
laundry
5th.
one, all the trash rooms are.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that maintenance could save themselves a lot of work ultimately if you had completely enclosed garbage cans out on the breezeway. You serve a lot of food on the breezeway. I know for a fact there's a raccoon that's getting into the garbage. He drags the garbage out into the landscaping. The birds come for garbage. And so if you could get enclosed trash cans, it would ultimately save a lot of pressure cleaning, and the birds would lose interest and go somewhere else.
I did turn a work order in on this, but if I don't understand why maintenance people, if they see something, don't do something. On the 4th floor laundry room, if you stand at the door and just look straight ahead, there's, I guess it's like a soffit, but with ceiling tiles. One is completely out, the one next to it is cracked, and it's been that way for months.
I'll make a note of that.
I've been here for about 2 years. When I first moved in, I saw a lot of dollarweed in the lawn on the south side of this building, the south building. And since that time, the dollarweed has gotten worse. If something isn't done to kill it off, it'll eventually kill off the grass. So I would suggest that somebody have the landscapers spray the stuff, get rid of it.
I'll make a note on that, Dr. He's pretty good on maintaining the grounds. The grounds look beautiful in this community, so I'll reach out to him and let him know.
Yeah, we'll reach out to Corey and let him know. Thank you. I'm writing everything down. You know I do.
Anytime anyone visits me, they compliment the community on the wonderful upkeep of the lawns. And I know the grounds crew that does that work, I'm sure it's a contractor that comes in, is very respectful of me and the dog. We walk a lot, and their crew just goes out around us and respects our need. But why is it taking so long to do anything about the speeding on Regency Oaks? Can I say anything to anybody, work on any committee? You know, when they built Regency Oaks, they forgot the sidewalks, and it's a problem. And I don't see that anything's getting done about it.
Well, I just addressed that, and I told you that we were looking into it. I can't speak to why nothing has been done prior to my time. I can't speak to why there hasn't been additional implementations. But as I mentioned, we are working on it and looking into it. And we would love your suggestions on solutions. That would be helpful.
At one time, the drivers were using a radar gun and giving notices and taking the license plate information. And at that time, we had one, I guess it was an employee who was driving a motorcycle, and I have no idea how fast he was going, but very quick.
Thank you. Like I said, we are looking into it. I'll meet with Chris and we'll try to get some solutions. Any other questions?
The hall carpets cleaned on a regular basis. I know when we bring guests through, especially someone that might be a potential guest or resident, the carpets on the 5th floor of the north building, the south, or the Savannah especially, has been very littered for a long time. I know they're working on different apartments, but it's been before and since, so just a heads up.
Thank you for that heads up. We have them coming out next month. We'll be this month on the 4th floor, next month they'll be on the 5th floor. And we do it twice a year.
Last call for questions. All right.
Thank you guys. We appreciate all your questions and feedback. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Derby Day. Don't party too hard.